My name is Glen Gardner. I am an executive recruiter and the founder of Gardner Innovation Search Partners. I started a recruiting business about 24 years ago. Started as an information technology recruiter. And one of my clients was Battelle, which is a $8 billion a year R&D company, and they do about $1 billion in fee-for-service R&D, and they also manage many of the national labs around the United States, about a third of them: Oak Ridge National Lab, Idaho National Lab, Pacific Northwest National Lab, the National Renewable Energy Lab, Los Alamos National Lab. And they asked me if I could help them find someone to commercialize the intellectual property from the supercomputer at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Really didn't know what they said, but I said, sure. And 18 years ago, that kicked my career off at being one of the only technology transfer or technology commercialization recruiters in the world. I met Dr. Schaefer on a biotech career forum, and she invited me to speak at this. So I guess I should probably start by defining what is technology transfer. And since that's what I recruit for, and technology transfer, I'll give you a couple stories. First of all, there was a researcher at the University of Florida, and he invented a drink to help the football players survive the heat. That drink was licensed, and that drink is now called Gatorade. And over the years, University of Florida has made millions and millions of dollars on Gatorade. Two other very successful tech transfer stories would be Larry Page and Sergey Brin. When they were postdoc students at Stanford, they invented an algorithm for search, and they went to the technology licensing or technology transfer office at Stanford University, and they said, hey, we'll pay for those patents and we'll give you a 4% royalty if we make any money on our invention. And that company is now called Google, as you probably know. And when Google went public, Stanford made $235 million. The last example I can give you is the drug Lyrica. I was fortunate enough to meet the inventor for Lyrica, Dr. Silverman from Northwestern University in Chicago. He spoke to one of our technology transfer meetings, and I learned a little bit more about how that deal went down. And Lyric, I think, is the biggest licensing blockbuster revenue in the United States, probably in the world, and it's brought in over $1 billion to Northwestern University. So all I recruit is tech transfer people, and I recruit for universities mainly all over the United States, but I have done some recruiting in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Canada, and Australia. So I just wanted to talk about some hiring trends and some things to look out for when you're working with a recruiter or what recruiters do. First of all, a common misconception about recruiters is that we work for the candidate. So that's actually a misconception. We are hired by, in my case, the university or the research institute, and they say, Glenn, we want you to find this, that, and they give me a whole laundry list of things. And it's our job to go out and deliver exactly what they want. On the flip side, a lot of people think, well, I want a recruiter to help me find a new position. Recruiters don't do that. That's actually called a career counselor. But the real tip for you guys is to if a recruiter does reach out to you, even if it's not a fit, even if it's not the right time, you should probably be open-minded and having a talk with them. The other thing is working in the narrow niche that you work, if that's oncology research, if that's finance, if that's information technology, whatever you do, it'd be good to reach out and establish a relationship with those recruiters that focus on those positions, even if they're not, even if you're not a fit for their current positions right now. It's still good just to have a relationship with them. And so for the past 18 years, I've been forming relationships with tech transfer people all over the world. And nowadays my calls are much more simple because I've had interactions with these people over the course of the last 18 years. Some other tips that I'm seeing with this recruiting in the pandemic over the last couple years, or last however many months this has gone on and on, hiring has gone a little bit quicker now, because nowadays we don't have to have somebody fly into the university that we're recruiting for or things like that. So now things are done extensively via Zoom, which we're all on right now, or whatever online platform that we're on. So things can go quicker, but there's a lot less physical touch points. So it has become a real interesting thing. The other trend that I'm seeing in hiring today is people all want remote work. And in the tech transfer business, since they have to have innovated very quickly over this COVID-19 period, the tech transfer offices that I'm working with are being very successful. They're getting a lot of things done because they don't have to fly to Boston to meet this people, fly to Silicon Valley to meet that type of person. But the leadership offices at the universities are saying, hey, we can't let all this office space go empty, and we need these tech transfer professionals to be in there to meet with the researchers, because you can't do everything in a vacuum. It still helps to have these water cooler talks. It still helps to interact with these people across the world. So we're trying to figure out how to get back into the office. And I'm sure this is the same conversation no matter what the industry is. Another interesting trend, and my partners and myself, there's 2 males and there's 3 females. And my lead partner, her name is Lisa Rooney. She had a 20-year career in tech transfer. And one day I was trying to recruit her for a position. She says, I'm tired of running tech transfer offices. I want to travel the world with my husband. I said, well, why don't you be a recruiter? And somehow she bid on that, and fast forward 8 years, and we make a wonderful team. What we found out is, and we've also read some papers about this, feel free to read about this. An interesting phenomenon that we're finding about comparing females to males in this job market. What we found out is that if a male person looks at this job description and says, you know what, out of the 10 things on the checkbox, I only maybe hit 6, but I'm going to apply anyways, and boom, off the application goes, or they'll apply for the position. What we found is that, I think in general, I'm just making very general accusations, is that in general, females want to check all 10 boxes. And what I'm here to tell you is, please don't. Even if you only check 5 of the 6 boxes, or maybe 7 of the 10 boxes, or whatever it is, throw your hat in the ring, give yourself a stretch, because you just don't know what the person on the other end is looking for. So I want to give you that tip. Shifting gears kind of off that one. One other thing is, don't rely on recruiters to help you find jobs. The tip that I give people is, you're your best salesperson. And another tip that I suggest for people is, even if you're not looking for a position now, it's really good to reach out and build your LinkedIn network. LinkedIn is kind of the where I'm on in my career every day, because I'm looking at people's LinkedIn profile. Today, I really think your LinkedIn profile is actually more important than your resume, because it's public. And these hiring people, they can see your LinkedIn right away. Make sure you have a professional picture. Try to get recommendations on that. Make sure your profile is filled out completely and accurately. The more information you have, the more connections that you have is better, because especially if it's in your industry. So what I would recommend is, when you're not looking for positions, it's still good to connect with peers in your industry, or even if you know that you want to be in the um, in whatever narrow space you are, connect with other people and other hiring managers when you don't need a job. So it's more of a proactive approach to that.